welcome to our session on the era of generative AI. My name is Ankita and I'll be your moderator for this session. I represent SpringPeople, India's leading enterprise training provider, and it is a real pleasure to have you with us today. In today's session, we'll take a closer look at how enterprises are working with generative AI, exploring its foundations, practical approaches, and real world examples. And to guide us on this journey, we are truly privileged to have with us Mr. Suresh, a seasoned corporate trainer and technocrat with over 25 years of experience. With over 15 years of hands on expertise in Python, he has led trainings on machine learning, AI, NLP, IoT, chatbots, and Python programming, helping professionals bridge concepts with real world applications. His experience also spans software development, mobile solutions, website development, and telecom technologies like 2G, 3G, LTE, 5G, and IoT. Over the years, he has delivered impactful programs for global leaders including Capgemini, Accenture, TCS, Dell, and Wipro, and is widely recognized for making complex concepts simple and practical for learners. Now, before we get started, just a quick note. If you have any questions during the session, please place them in the Q&A box. They will be addressed during the Q&A segment towards the end by Mr. Suresh. With that, let us get started. Over to you, Mr. Suresh.
Thank you, Ankita. Good evening, everyone. Uh, okay, let's start. Today's topic for this webinar is the era of generative AI. Before we get into the topics, agenda. So we're all living in the era of generative AI, right? So now the era of generative AI is going on. It is a world of generative AI where we are living in. Generative AI is an AI tool, and if you see that now, everyone, at least in the IT industries, every employee, no, I don't see any employee left out without using a generative AI. Generative AI is very helpful in many ways. So today we'll take a look into that, how a generative AI helps the industry, the individual people, and how exactly it is evolved. And today, what is the what is the status of it? What is the trend in the upcoming year? All those things we'll take a look into this. Let's take a look into the agenda in this webinar. What we are going to discuss and what we're going to talk on that. This is the agenda for this today's webinar. We'll talk about what is an artificial intelligence. If you are talking about generative AI, then we should definitely know what is artificial intelligence. Then we will look at what is generative AI, right? Generative AI is a submodel, or maybe it is a part of artificial intelligence, or maybe it can enhanced version of traditional AI, basically, right? That is what. So first we'll discuss about AI, and I'll get into the generative AI, and also we discuss about a large language model. This is a very important one, and these language models are playing a very important role in the generative AI products. We'll try to understand what is LLM, how exactly LLM has been created, what is the background core technology behind that. All these things we'll discuss on this. Then also we'll take a look into that on a generative AI landscape and the tools. What is the area that lands and generative AI has covered actually? Which are the domains generative AI and has entered in? Which are the people are using generative AI? What is the scope of it? And also, what are the tools are available? I mean, what are the generative AI tools are available? Now and upcoming. What are the upcoming tools are going to be there in the near future? So all those things we look into it. The next one is the prompt engineering, and this is a very important one, right? Because prompt engineering is the one what the queries you ask the generative AI tool. It is a query. It is a question being asked to generative AI tools to get the answers. So whenever you ask the question, an answer should be very clear and cryptic, and it should be in a favor of what kind of format you're expecting the answer. That also you can put it in the prompt. So the person who is good in prompting or a prompt engineering, then you'll be definitely make a good leverage of generative AI tool. If you don't give a prompt properly, then generative AI replaces in its own way because whatever it is programmed. But we have to fine tune that and give a proper prompt so that you get a proper answer. After discussing all these things, I'll also give a demo of some of the things like how exactly using a ChatGPT API, how exactly you can build a chatbot. First of all, I'll talk about how exactly the chatbot in a rule-based chatbot, which is a very olden days rule-based chatbot. Then after that, how to by using a machine learning model, we also created a chatbot. It's a very middle level one, and it's not like a ChatGPT. And after that, now we have created a ChatGPT, a chatbot using a ChatGPT API, OpenAI API. We've used it, so I'll show you that also. Then also we'll talk about a RAG. I mean, RAG also will we are built using the ChatGPT, and we'll also show a demo on that. Right. So this is the demo part. We're going to talk about that. Then after that, we'll have a Q&A, as Ankita mentioned, and you need to wait till the session is closed. After that, you'll have a time. If you have a questions, you can always put it in the question answer this thing menu. You can post the questions. So I will look into all the questions at the end of the session, and I will try to answer one by one. Okay. Having said that, this is the agenda has been set for this webinar. Let's go one by one and try to understand. Okay. Let's go ahead. First, look at generative AI. Okay. When you say generative AI, what exactly it is? Many people are in a in curiosity, maybe the new people who are into new industries, they may be very curious what is generative AI, what exactly. It is very simple one, right? Generative AI, if you look at the word, we have two words, generative and AI. Generative means what? It generates something or gives some output, right? That is what generate. So here, what generative AI talks about here, create a new content, either it be text, image, a code, video, or audio. That is what the current generative AI does it. If you ask generative AI, like say ChatGPT or Gemini, create a hero image with a long hair, big mustache, and wearing a hat. Just to look at the text description, Gemini can create an image for you. I'll show you that how exactly it works, right? And if you ask, please tell me a story about a village boy who has scored, first rank in engineering. So you can create a story for that, and also you can do a text summarizations. If you have a big text and you don't want to read everything and you want to summarize what is the content, you can ask the ChatGPT, say that, can you say summarize this? It will give that. That's all part of the text. Image generations, there are many generative AI tools available in the market. Some are commercial, some are open source. You can use that. And the code, of course, you can generate any code. I'll show you the code also, how exactly it works. Video also can generate it. Audio also can generate. Suppose if you are a filmmaker, if you have lyrics, you can ask ChatGPT to put a tune for that, music tone for that. It'll generate a to a tune for that, and you can get that. That may be might not be a final one. After hearing that, again you can get back and you can fine tune that. Again, you ask the questions. It's all iterative process until you get a proper one, right? That's what generating does actually. There is another word is called AI, right? AI is what ability of machines to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. That's called AI. It is a machine created, intelligent machines basically created by human beings, right? So generative AI in nutshell, it is a kind of a generate plus AI. That means using the AI technology, you create a new content. It could be a text, it could be image, a code, all these things. That is called a generative AI. Okay. So having said that, let's move on, try to understand a little bit more and then get into the AI basically. Generative AI is not a new concept. It has been there for many years. You have used it, but you are not noticed that it is generative AI, right? If you look at the Google translation, right? This is the Google translations. The Google translation, if you go here and you give in English, good morning, and German will give a good morning. This is a completely generating from one language to another language. You give an English text, it understands what is the meaning of it, and then it generates a text in general language. So this is also a type of a generative AI. Here also they use a machine learning to understand what is the context. They use NLP. NLP and machine learning are the backbone for generative AI, or in fact, for the AI basically. We talk about machine learning, not the traditional old machine learning, the deep neural network, deep neural networks. And to specifically mention, they explicitly mention that that is a transformer architecture machine learning models. There was a paper in 2017 by Google. Attention is all you needed. From that paper, a lot of the transformer architecture has been created, and that has been boomed. With that architecture, NLP has scaled up to a very huge level. It has transformed the world into a different level, actually. Right? So generative AI is not a new concept. It was there already earlier. Right? It was there from the day when it is already there. So this is what one of the example. In 2006 only it was introduced, Google Translation. It has been more than 19 years. It has been existing now. It is not a new concept. But when ChatGPT came out in 2023, where it is made available on the internet, where you can get answer for whatever you want, whatever the questions you have it, you get an answer for everything. People are getting, blinking. Yes, now this is the time. Right. That's how in 2020, as it started, the era of generative AI, the ChatGPT started in 2020. Still, it is going on. Then it's also, even if it's sentence completing, right? If you give a machine here and then completing, it gives that actually, right? It gives all this. This is also a type of generative AI. It is not new. It is there for very many old actually. Test completion is there for many years. This is also part of. This is also one of the type of generative AI. Whichever the AI product which generates something new, and that is called a generative AI tool. Okay, it could be text, it could be image, it could be video, anything. Then the chat GPT. What has changed? We have been in a use, even as for example, if you have a smartphone, the alarm what you set in a smartphone, and that is also a type of a generative AI. You set it, say 5 o'clock, I want to get up, and you can also mention that what tune has to be generated. So all those things you mentioned, and as the time to get triggered, it'll make a different sound, and also you put a text message. All those things it does it. Maybe a very primitive level of generative AI, but that is also kind of a generative AI. Right? Generative AI is been there for many years, but we have not noticed. They said that it is a tool, it's an AI tool, it has been there when we have been using, but it has started very early. Right? So that is what it is there. Now, what has been changed? This is what has been changed. In 2018, I said there was ChatGPT 1, GPT-1 has been released. It is 111 billion parameters. Right? The parameters indicates that how much you are being trained the model, the transformer model, whatever ChatGPT use it, how much of you has been trained, what are the data has been trained. Based on the data what you train, the parameters get increased. Right? I tried using the unsupervised learning because it can supervise unsupervised both. You can give it again the start of the lambda and all this. This is a very basic one. ChatGPT 1 sometime in 2001, 2002, 2003 it was there. It was there, and later on in 2018 into ChatGPT 2 2019 has been released. Then 3 2020, the year it is after 3 has been released. People is getting recognized. It's been in the internet. It has been on the ChatGPT is given on a website. People can use freely. Everything has happened. Then now when ChatGPT 4 and 5 also it is there actually. From 2023, it has been a big boom. People have started using it. And they know that it is it is a ChatGPT is a type of generative AI, specifically large language model built on top of OpenAI GPT. GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer. This is actually using the transformer architecture that is pre-trained actually. You can take this, you can also do the augmentation on this, you can also fine-tune this actually. That is how many people does it. If you go to Hugging Face, and there are a lot of ChatGPT, there are a lot of pre-trained machine learning models are available. You can take that, you can fine tune that, and you can use it. Some are freely available, some are commercial one. Freely available definitely will not be much efficient, but you can fine tune that, you can change it, you can always work with that. For a research purpose, you can always do that, fine tune that. That is called transfer learning actually. That is always called transfer learning. You can do that. Now the RAG also is one thing, we can use that. Retrieval augmented generation, that is also there. Then it uses the neural networks to understand the context. This is what it is there. LLM does all these things. to understand the language. So this is the, I mean, what is the kind of evolutions of Chat GPT or GPT, then generative pre-trained one, and it is where the generative model. So this, if you look at this, you look at this actually. Google Translate came sometime back. I told you 19 years back. To reach 100 million users, it took so many 78 days actually. Uber took 70, 61, all these things there. So ChatGPT took only 2 days to reach 100 million users. So that is the power of chat, because of course, I mean, ChatGPT is the one, anything you ask for it, it gives the answer to you. And also when you're asking ChatGPT, it can wear a different hat. It can different, and I had of, I'm an artist, like, who can write the diagram, who can write the sketch the persons, or also you can put it as a hat of an engineer, a coder, or a film director, or enough music directors. You can tell ChatGPT, assume that you're an artist, answer these questions. That is how the prompt goes actually. Okay, we look at some of the prompts of exactly we can do this. This is how. I just wrote this slides because ChatGPT is so famous and it has become fast very early. Okay, this is about just get heads up on generative AI. Let's get into this artificial intelligence. Let's give just 5 to 10 minutes. We'll talk about that. Then after that, we'll get into the other topics. Artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Again, two words: artificial and intelligence. Artificial means man-made. It's unnatural, not a natural one. Intelligence is what? The general mental ability to learn, understand, reason, understand the complex concepts, solving problems, adapt to the new environment. All things, whatever the intelligence human beings having, that's called intelligence. It is the ability to learn all, whatever we do in the day-to-day activity, that is called intelligence. And artificial is man-made. What are all the human beings and the living things, living animals, whatever we have it, right? We gain this intelligence over a period of time. It is not man-made. We gained over a period of time due to experience, different experiences. I am at 50, and over 50 years, I've learned a lot of knowledge. The knowledge is converted into experience is converted into knowledge, and that has been intelligence. We use it actually. So what artificial intelligence technology does, it create intelligence machines. You just put the intelligence, artificial intelligence inside the machine, so that human can mimic, human can work like a human. Sorry, machine can work like a human actually. It is just mimicking the human activities. Currently, the technology, how it is run, let's take a look into that. That's what creating an artificial intelligence machine. An intelligent machine is called artificial intelligence. We have taking the same base of human intelligence, try to create a machine as an intelligence device so that it can mimic. Who is the author of, or the father of artificial intelligence? John McCarthy is the author. He was the author of artificial intelligence. But he is a person who gave the idea, or who coined the word artificial intelligence can be done. He coined the word in 1956. Way back, it's almost 50 plus 70 years back, or 69 years back. He said machine also can be treated or can be put intelligence so that it can work like a human being. That is what he mentioned. But it didn't pick up. We'll see why it is not picked up later. And also he has developed a Lisp programming language. This is one of the AI programming language earlier days. During my college days, I also used this. My college project was creating an expert system for L system. We created expert systems. It act like a small premature doctor actually. It takes the inputs, what are the symptoms of, suppose some patient comes and he has a headache, and he keep on entering what are the symptoms he's showing, then we'll prescribe some time. That is a very simple expert system what we create a college project. For that we use a Lisp programming language. And he is the author for that Lisp programming language. But nowadays we have many programming language for the AI. Python is one of the leading one. Okay. So he's just to give introduction, he's the person who coined the word in 1956. And this is the evolution of artificial intelligence. 1950 Turing test. Alan Turing was one of the scientists, and where he made a lot of things. And again, cloning of all these things is done. First jotpad was created in 1660. Then Mycene. This is all the evolution of it. Now our feature is now 20xx. ChatGPT's 2023 has become so famous. A trend is, this is, if you look at the 2060, it is a super intelligent AI. I don't know. whether it's going to come or not. But that is what the predictions what they have it. It is something in 2040 we'll have a general AI. That's a very generic AI. What a strong AI. What do you call it? But now we are in the world of weak AI. Weak AI is and we are narrow AI. What you call actually that is we are there right now in 2020 25. We are in a weak AI. Even generative AI is also kind of a part of a weak AI. It's a little bit advanced compared to the earlier one, but it is also come under the umbrella of a weak AI. Okay, we'll talk about. So this is again artificial intelligence. 1956, birth of AI, where John McCarthy said artificial intelligence can be done. He started this. That is the reason that's one of the reasons he says he is the father of artificial intelligence. He also developed a list programming for artificial intelligence. In 56 to 74, early AI research is started. So after 56, there are a lot of research that's done, but not much. In again 74, first AI winter happened as one of the conferences happened, and it is done, but not much progress. Again after this, 897, rise of expert systems. Here a lot of expert systems have been came out, but not much progress again. In 87, 93, second day winter, something was not happened. So look at this year, 87, I mean 80 to 87, I think, and also 87 to 93, no, not much progress. Then here 93 to 210, machine learning era. This is where the machine learning got picking up actually. After 1995 and near to 2000, right, 2000 to 2010, some 2000 to 2010 is the era of machine learning, where people started learning machine learning and try to build small models. That is the time where our IoT system also came up. We are getting a lot of data basically. Then we started building that. That's what in 2010 onwards it is a breakthrough. Deep learning came into picture. Artificial neural network came into picture. Deep neural network came into picture. That is what conquered the world actually. That is what the AI. If the AI is in this status now, if you are a generative AI with ChatGPT, all those things because of the deep neural networks, machine learning. Machine learning on NLP or the I said earlier backbone of artificial intelligence or generative AI. Okay, then we have this is the era of it now. 2020 onwards, we are in the era of 2000 AI era, generative AI era. We are all living, we are all witnessing the generative AI era. What we have actually. Okay, let's move on. Why AI? This is one question people always ask. Even though in 1956, AI is said, coined the word AI, artificial intelligence. It has been started. John McCarthy gave a start. He ignited project, but why he didn't pick it up? There are many reasons. One reason is when 1956 only the scientists were created a very huge set actually. Over optimism, they have created actually. It can be done within 5 years. Everybody can have all these things. All overwhelmed statement they made it overconfidence, but that didn't happen actually. That is one of the reasons. The major reason they could have done actually, but the thing is limited computing power. During 1956, even 1960, 1970, the computing power was very, very less. Even we have not in India, we have not seen the computer that time actually, where we can see develop such a huge artificial intelligence product actually now. That is one of the limited computer power, lack of data. In order to, if you want to create a efficient machine learning model, you need a huge data. If you don't have data, because machine learns from the data, right? You should have a data. If you don't have huge data, a machine cannot learn actually, right? That is one of the lack. And the weak algorithms, we didn't have much of algorithm. Nowadays, we have a huge and a very efficient algorithms we have for machine learning algorithms. Our olden days, we didn't have it actually. Okay, then fund cuts. Because of all these reasons, people are reluctant to, or maybe people are sitting back. Oh, I don't want to fund on these projects because it's not making progress. They have seen this. If you see the slides, they have seen this. The progress of AI is very, very, limping basically, right? It's not made much progress. So now, this is the reason. Even the venture capital also said, no, I can't put in AI Winters conference. They said I can't put funding for this. Then missing key ideas. These are all the factors which imposed or impacted where the AI cannot come forward, even though it has been identified in 1956. Actually, that started in 1980, express systems created, maybe in 1990, 2000, rise of machine learning, better hardware, better internet data, all these things. In 2000, we have a quite an efficient and a good internet connections where people are able to access the data. All those things are there. After 2000 to 2010, there's a breakthrough. machine learning all been implemented. After 2010, yeah, deep learning it came into picture. Now GPU, TPU, everything has come, and the big data started. Big data is the one which is very useful for machine learning to learn. Then NLP, self-driving, all these things happened actually. From 2010 onwards, it has been almost 15 years. It has been progressing very fast. And going ahead, 2030 still go very fast because we have all the infrastructure ready to go with that. Okay, that is what the why it is slowed into it is fine. The type of artificial intelligence already said is timing up. A type of artificial intelligence, I said it is a narrow AI. This is the world we are living right now. Narrow AI is a kind of automations or part of the human being intelligence has been automated. A AI system can do only one part of it. Suppose if you take example Siri, Alexa, their activity is just to understand what you say. Alexa, if I say Siri, can you just play a beautiful melody is saying for me? So it just understand whatever I say, the natural language. It will decode the natural language, understand it, and it pick up from the my genre, my melody song. It just play. There is only one part of human activity. It is not a whole human activity, right? It's a part of it. So that has been automated. So that is a VK. There's a narrow AI they call actually. Designed for one specific task. Most of the AI we use today is all chatbots, recommendation system. Everything is a narrow AI. It can do only a specific task or a kind of automations, right? That is what spam builders, everything. Generative AI is also part of that. I mean, it is sorry. General AI. This is general AI, not generative. Sorry, general AI, or it's also a AGI, or it's also called as a strong AI. We are not entering into this still. This is still in theory actually. We're not gone into this field. Some area we have just crossing, but we are not into that actually. Also called as a strong AI, can perform any intelligent task like a human and still research goal and not a received. Example, a machine can learn math, write stories, and cook just like a human. This is all happening now. It is a theoretical things. Some things all show some improvement, but not up to the mark where the strong AI or where it is completely what human can do it. Nothing. All the jobs what human can do it. It is not up to the mark now. We're just starting it actually. It is all theoretical. It's on paper, not in the practical. But VKA and RA, everything is on paper as well as on a practical. We have a products on a VKA product, right? Super AI is something which is we can think of. I don't know in our age or in our life will we see that or not? I'm not sure actually, right? It may take another 20 to 30 years or maybe more than that. So maybe some people may see that actually. I'm not sure. It again, how technology grows. If you look at the 1956, it was very slow, but now from 2010, it has been improved a lot for over 15 years. But it may go up faster. Super AI is something which is more than human actually. You might have seen a movie called Robo, right? Rajinikanth's movies, where Rajinikanth creates a robo, and the robo will take over him actually after some time. So that is called a super AI. Now it is there on the films only. It is there actually, not not nothing is no theories started. Everything is not started. It is all. Now I would say that narrow is the one thing which is being capable of it. This is based on capability. How exactly in the AI is being categorized, right? And this is the what we have it based on functionality. We have reactive mode, reactive machines, limited memory, theory of minds, all those things there. This is all different category, different categorization basically. Self-awareness is something where the super AI or theory of mind, AI, future stage, all these things is right to come actually. Limited memory it is there. Even self-driving cars, ChatGPT, they're all limited memory. Not like a human memory, it is a limited memory. Even a ChatGPT, if you ask, it will remember some part of the. You can set a dialogue and keep on ask the questions. It will remember some time. It cannot remember the whole thing, whatever I discussed, in 10 years, maybe 1 month back. But human beings can still remember. If you have spoken to your friend 1 month back, and again you started dialogue with your friend, you can say, remember that, yes, 1 month back I told you this, we had to go there, we had to plan for a trip, all those things. You can remember that. But ChatGPT and other stuff, they cannot do it. They have very limited memory. Short memory, they have it. So that is what based on the category. Even generative AI also is part of this. Okay, this is all the category of it. Artificial intelligence, basically, I told you that natural language processing and machine learning, especially deep learning neural networks, are the backbone of artificial intelligence or any artificial intelligence networks product. If you are working on a computer visions, of course, computer visions technology also is very important. That is for then a cognitive skills. It is a common one which is used for everything. Machine learning, what is machine learning? Is a type of artificial intelligence that enables computers to learn from the data and to improve their performance over a period of time, not without explicitly programmed. That is what it is. Natural language is again a subfield of computer science or artificial intelligence that uses machine learning to enable computers to understand the natural language, the human language. If I say, as I said, Siri, Alexa, and all are part of the NLP product. Even the generative AI, ChatGPT are all part of the NLP product, machine learning and NLP. Okay, having said that, so what is the major difference between differential and generative AI? It says uses predefined rules here. Traditional AI, it always works for the prediction. You train something, suppose you train a machine learning model on some pictures identifying, say, 5 animals. You train on that. Then you show a new picture. You try to predict out of 5 animals what is this picture. Right? That is called prediction actually. Or if you want to predict any other like quantitative things, right? Suppose if you want to you have a huge data on house pricing based on the number of bedrooms or all balconies, everything, all the things we have it. You train the model, and also now you give them some statistics. So you got a house now, and you want to predict the price. You ask the chat GPT, you ask the machine learning, then you will traditionally will predict this is the approximate amount it can be given for that house. So those kind of things. That's a predictive analysis. What we have done is using the existing data, I try to predict the new data. But generative AI is not like that. It generates a new content as if it is created by the human being itself. That is called a generative AI. Of course, for that, it is also has to be trained so much. I'll just give an analogy. I'll give an example, right? So when I asked generative AI, right? So create a village girl selling milk in a market, right? This is what the description of the image I gave actually, right? I can show you just that. What I'll do is I'll just show you that some of the things. If you go to Chat Gemini, okay, create a picture, okay, a village girl, right? A village girl selling milk in the market. I'll just give this actually, right? You can also specifically put, an Indian village girl, right? Something like that, right? You can also put that actually, right? So that it adds the Indian flavor. That is what it does. It just gives this. It's generating. Gemini will generate the image very faster compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very good for text processing. Gemini, will do that, faster. Let's wait for, okay, we'll come back. We'll go back to that presentation. By then, I will see. It's already see this. This is what the image it generates. What is the image? See the image here. The village girl is in the market, and the Indian, as I just mentioned, the Indian village, right? It gives a proper Indian village girl and selling the market. See here, fresh milk is putting here, all this is put here. This is the image it generates actually. This is what. So generative image you can generate this. Why? It has been trained. When I say here, create a picture of Indian, then Indian understand. Okay, I need to create an Indian, version of it. And what is it also takes the village. Village is also another flavor. Then girl is a girl picture I have to generate. Selling milk, and also I put this. So you might have seen this. This is trained with a huge picture, huge data. How exactly you might have seen the same picture trained actually. A village picture where the different people are selling the milk or going on something. So it caps from that. It learns a lot of things. How the image of a village girl looks. How the what are the dress code thing, all those things it takes like that. It might have learned actually. When I gave this, what it does it takes a bits and piece. It takes some sample from village girl, maybe some part of the dress code you can take from that, and also milk also. You might have seen many pictures of the milk. It just takes the milk and combine everything and make a picture out of it. Because it is learned how village girl looks, how milk looks, and how Indian village girl looks, how the market will look. So that's how you generate the picture. Suppose if I generate here, a picture of Indian, or maybe a old school with football and a ground and boys play. If I give this, it also generates, right? So it's a football ground. He knows that how the football grounds. He add that football ground and what on school days how it adds it. So from looking at all the bits and pieces, it collects its and generates image. That is what generating a new image like a human being. See this? There's a old school here. There's a football ground, and boys are playing. That's what he has given a here. What is called. Picture of US or maybe some Western countries, right? If you add a flavor here, old Indian school. Look at this. Now see this. What will happen? So we have another 15 minutes to 52 minutes to go. Let's try to finish it off. So it tries to generate. Now I gave a Indian actually, right? It is generated, kind of a Western school actually. Now I asked the Indian. See this. Look at the Indian school. So from this Indian word, it understood. Oh, this person is asking for an Indian school. Then it generates this. And also look at the boys. All Indian boys. Look at this. All coconut trees. And look at this. Any coconut trees here? You don't see a coconut trees there. So this is how it understands. ChatGPT or generative AI model. This is how it understands. It understands the bits and pieces from the air and take all the bits and bits and pieces from each individual things and merge that and make an image out of it. That is how it creates a new things. Even if you ask for a story for all the things, that's how it does it. Okay. So let's go back to the presentation. Okay, let's go back here. So this is how the generative AI works and traditional AI works. So okay, now let's look at the large language models, right? Large language models is a kind of, again, a machine learning model which has been trained for understanding natural language. Right? That is what it is. So what is a model? First of all, understand a model. Model is something like this. Here, the Max model of Gandhiji. It's a model, representation of a Gandhiji. In machine learning or a digital world, a model is nothing but a representations of a real world entity in a digital form. It's called a model. Suppose a machine learning model, you create an expert system, right? You train the model, all the medical terms, you'll become an expert system of a doctor, like a doctor expert system. That means you're creating a digital version of a doctor. And that means whatever the doctor is there, you take and all the things, whatever he looks, behave and all. From there, you create from the real entity, you create a digital version. So we can, instead of using the physical entity, you can use the digital versions. Can be used for many other activity. That is what it is, the model actually. The language model is meant for understanding the machine, understanding the human language actually, right? This is what the present model, you can say that. Language model is a type of AI model that's trained for understand and generate a human language. This is a model for the language. It can understand only human language and try to understand each and every bit of the language, whatever the word you give it, and make a predictions what exactly it is asking for. Basically, understand the intent and then work it basically. Large language model is bigger. You have trained the model with a huge data. ChatGPT, ChatGPT is an example of a large language model. Okay, ChatGPT uses the LLM for text processing. To generate a text uses a large language model, right? LLM is advanced artificial intelligence system trained on massive amounts of text data to understand and generate a human-like text. The design to process and predict a natural language text, all this is the same. It's an OpenAI GPT generative pre-trained transformer series are based on depending upon the architectures. Of course, NLP is the one which is used for this to understand the language. Machine learning also is used for to predict, but NLP to understand the word. Suppose if in a ChatGPT, if I give it, I'm sitting on the bank of a river. So word the bank in this statement, I'm sitting on the river and I'm sitting on the bank of the river. Or if I use a second statement, I'm going to bank to withdraw money. So look at the two sentences. The word bank, he has to clearly understand what is the meaning of the bank in this sentence. There, the first statement, I'm sitting on the river, the bank. It says we are near to the river, sitting there actually, and the edge of the river, the bank of the river is sitting. That is what the bank indicates there. The second sentence, where I'm going to bank to withdraw the money. So whereas withdraw the money, add more weightage to the bank. There, the river word add weightage to the bank actually. The withdraw money is added more weightage. That is it is a bank. It's a financial institution. I'm going and withdraw the money. There, when I say river, it is a bank of the natural, whatever things we have it. There's a river, what you get actually, right? That is what it is. So this is called the attention mechanisms. The word transformer architecture, this is how it will process the word actually. It will give a weightage to each word in the sentence, whatever you give it actually, and then it will predict properly what next comes or what is the meaning of it. All those things you understand by this. This is called attention mechanisms. Attention is nothing but give a weightage to individual word in the sentence what you put in the chat GPT. If you give a more weightage to different weightage to different things, then you understand the complete essence of the sentence and try to answer to that based on the understanding of it. Okay, so that is how the large language model works. And training law, this is enough data. Transform architecture is used. This is what it is. Pre-training and fine-tune. This is what I said. Generative GPT is generative pre-trained model, so you can take that and can fine tune that. Fine tune that is you add on top of the pre-trained model something what you want actually. Then the machine learning or the model will behave what you expect actually. So that is called a pre-trained model to fine tuning it. The parameter is something, if you look at GPT 3 is 117 billion parameters, estimated to be 1 trillion parameters, all those things. Its capabilities, text generation, question answering, summarizations, language, everything it is there, it is there. Right? It's what, like capability of language model, conversation chatbots. I'll show you that now how exactly chatbots can be created. We have timing up, so I need to go to that now. Creating all these things is there, right? This is all the things. Example of large language model: Chat GPT-3, GPT-3, GT4, and the Lambda is there, and Olama is there, and then the Claude is there, Anthropic Claude is there, Hugging Face models. There are many Hugging Face models available, free, open source. All are a large language model, pre-trained language model. You can take that, and then some are commercial. I said some are commercial, some are open source. You can use it. Olama is open source. You can just get it. You go to Hugging Face, you will get to use things. It will tell you what this model does, what is, whether it is commercial, what is free, all those things will tell. You can use it actually. So what are the limitations? Elusiveness. Sometimes a large language model will assume something and give the answer. The answer may be wrong. So that is something which is a limitation. The biases. Sometimes if you don't give a proper prompting, it may bias. Then the context limits. Yeah, I mean the limit context, you can't keep it a huge context considerations. Resource intensive. Yes, we have to train. No true understanding. This is all This is sort of limitations. Every product will have limitations, and then LLM also have limitations. Okay, applications, customer support, healthcare, education. It is there. It is now. It has been there everywhere actually. Right? It's a part of it. Now, generative AI, just to give a definition, we already discussed about this. It is one of the categories of automation texting that generates, create a new data, all those things is there. This is the definition. You can take a look into this. Open platform like Hugging Face, GitHub and Kaggle are shaping the field of generative AI, because again Kaggle gives a lot of data sets. Using that, you can train the model. GitHub will give a lot of already available working code. Will give it actually. Hugging Face is a repository where people come and put it there, their model there. People can take and use it basically. Generative AI is described as a subfield of AI to focus on creating a new content. Yes, that is, we already seen that. Okay, the timeline, see here, we have seen the AI evolution, right? Here was the same thing. 1930 to 50, this is what early Alan Turing and all those things are. Then 56 to 70, this is what the things. But here in 2020, the generation of generative AI revolution happened. Once we have a deep neural network is ready and NLP is ready to take up, and after having the paper, attention is all you need. That is a paper from Google research team that came up with that paper. A lot of people try to implement that architecture. With that architecture, it has been boomed up actually. With that architecture, as I said earlier, they'll try to give weightage to each word and try to understand the complete with the context. They'll understand the sentence so that they can give the answer properly. So with that, context-based analysis, it is very huge. And also they use for this vector database also has come in the picture, vector embedding rather. So since we have a huge data, we cannot put everything as a normal database. We can put it. We have to vector embedding. You have to do it. That means each things will be converted into a number actually, number of vectors. So that is the another technology they use it for searching and storing basically. So this is the AI tools. What is that? Text generation, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Cohere, all these things. You can text audio, Whisper is there. Code generation, so GitHub, Copilot is there. Even code also can be generated by ChatGPT. Image generation, DAL is there. Diffusions, Midjourney was custom assembly used. There are, apart from this, there are many open source and there are many commercial tools are available. Open, I mean, art also is there. There are open image also. There are many things there. You can just use it. Enterprise platform is Hugging Face, where you can put everything there, right? These are all tools. Text generation, you can use this. Image generation, you can use this. So all I've just mentioned all the different tools. I think you may get a this PPT can get walk through this. This is what it is there. Google, we have Alpay, Amazon, all these things. You can just take a look at this. Okay, and if technology wise, we have many technologies. This is the generative adversarial network. This is the first thing came up. It uses both encoder and decoder kind of things. Then a variation auto encoder comes. All these are beginning stages of the generative AI, where it tries to generate something basically. Once the transform model came in 2017 and 2018 time, it boomed up because this is one of the classic model, and where we can predict everything. We can understand a sentence completely. So with this, we have diffusion model is there. There's a lot of different techniques or technology what they use under below ChatGPT or generative AI model. So in summary, GANs, realistic, all these things is there. You can say this is the applications, and the transform model is something that text GPT. This is the one technology everybody is focusing now. Now landscape, generative AI landscape, because we're running out of time, so we have to go faster. Landscape, now we, as I said earlier, we're all in the era of generative AI. We are living in the world of generative AI right now, right? We are all witnessing this technology. We're very fortunate that we are in the era of artificial intelligence, era of machine learning, era of, we have seen all the era actually, right? Now the current generative era is going on. We are witnessing that, right? And for this, there are many. I mean, we are in the era, and it is still to go to bloom up, and a lot of advanced tools are going to come, and definitely will get a lot of things. If you look at the landscape here, key aspect landscape include the increasing enterprise adoption, significant investment in startups. That all these things are required, to make it go right. Let me know. Landscape, generative landscape characterized by the established tech gains, innovative in startups and ongoing development. This is all required basically. The generative AI landscape is enterprise dynamic and multifaceted with a rapid achievement across the various channels. So I would say that in down the line in 2-3 years, it will become a very prominent feature for technology for all the industry on all the domains. That is in all the domains it will be a tool. It will be used. The landscape characterized by this flourishing ecosystems. There is a collection of companies, platform technologies, focused to create a new content. Now, if people are all the new companies startup coming up, they want to create a new content in different ways. Then a generative AI landscape will become broader and broader. Technology foundations, particularly transfer neural networks and large organ model systems has to be vast. We have to train the data set. We train the model with a lot of data sets. That is what it is. Here we are, right? Then industry applications. That is also, these are the if you want to enhance AI, generative AI, and these are all the characters by that. Key components: foundation models, LLMs and AI, startup gains, investment. These are all same thing. Actually, the same thing. These are the key components and trends which will grow the generative AI trends. Key trends: multi-modal intelligence, agentic AI, and multi-agent systems. This is something which is agentic AI. Now a lot of people are working on it. Agentic RAG also people are working on it. Retrieval augmented generations. Okay, agentic AI retrieval generations. Okay, all those things are happening. And just go here. Challenges, ethical concerns, regularity, data training, energy consumption. Of course, for to train the model, huge energy is required, and a huge setup is required, and all that is there. And of course, many government are putting a legal governance or some of they're bringing out the law for this actually. Because also security, the privacy also is one of the things. There's one, something is going on. Data privacy is one of the key challenges here. Bias and variance we already discussed. Okay. Leading AI to OpenAI, ChatGPT, Dale, Code Interpreter. This is all the leading one. ChatGPT is of course a leading one, number one. Code Gemini from Google. Again, it is going on. I showed you Code Gemini. Adobe Freely, this is also one. There are many things, but ChatGPT and Gemini has been used extensively by many people because they give a free of cost. Of course, if you want to use the API, you can use it. You have to pay for that. Otherwise, a free of cost. This all is that. The last thing I'll talk about the prompting. This I thought earlier. Prompting is a bad. It's a bridge between your generative AI and the user. If the user generate a proper prompting, then they get a proper answer. Okay, that is what it is means here. Prompt engineering is a process of generating a or crafting a very efficient prompt or a queries. Right? If you look at this, there is a zero shot prompting, one shot prompting, and then here a few shot prompting also can give it, and a chain of thought where you can say solve 20 to 20 in a steps. Think by steps if you give it, right. It will give all the steps. How human being do it, you got the step. This is chain of thoughts. And if you give here few shots, we can give it. You can mention the chat GPT. You can do this and all. It will do it actually. All those things fine. So that is all the different things what we have actually. I'll show you some of the few things here. Okay, some of the demo because we are short in time actually. We are just show one or two demos. And after that we'll close it actually. Okay, after that I'll hand over to Ankita. She will talk about some of the things. Um, okay, I think we have taken more time because I'll just show some demo here. This is the chat GPT. I've used it, and then what we'll do is we'll go here and I'll open this thing. Just give me a minute. How exactly I created the chart? I just open that and show you that. Ankita, can we have 10 more minutes? Is it possible?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay, then we'll have the 10 more minutes. I'll show the demos, all the demos. Okay, this is one of the ChatGPT. How many participants there? Okay, that is fine. This is one of the demo what we have actually, and if this is developed using the ChatGPT API keys, OpenAI API keys, and the Streamlit. Streamlit is one of the platform for generating web-based stuff. So if I use this here, and if I go here, now Streamlit, I can run chatbot. It will run the chatbot as the web-based interface it gives you. So it will open up. And it'll give you that. Okay, this is fine. Say hi here. See, I say it gives the answer. Now I'll have something is wrong. What's up? Not much. The assistant. This is what is still lately starting actually. Then can you please generate? This is a little bit of I'm using a ChatGPT 3.5 here actually. Generate bubble sort code in Python something. You can give a short memory. That's all you can give it. See, that is generate actually. This is one of the chatbot I created using the generative and ChatGPT API tool API keys actually. So otherwise, if you want to look at the simple GPT, this is the new one actually. Of course, it is the one whatever I created here. It is a 3.5, and this is almost whatever using is a 4.5 or 5 actually. Here you can say just give a bubble chart. It gives actually like this. It just gives the same thing. Whatever you have it actually. The same thing I get here. This is what I can create in whatever the way I want actually, right? This is the web based. This is a free of cost. Anybody can use this actually. And also we were talking about here the here one shot and two shot, right? Prompting here. See here zero shot. Zero shot means I don't give anything. You see, if I give a zero shot here, right? 2 plus 3 if I give it, right? It gives the answer. Say it is, of course, it is giving a different answer to me now. It says this is the answer it gives actually. I can prefer. I can choose. It also ask me. It gives me this. Say 4 plus 6. This is the answer it gives. Suppose if I tell ChatGPT, boss, this is the output has to be in a different format, then it will see. This is the prompt I give actually. I can say prompt like this. This is what thing I'll tell the ChatGPT, saying that you like this. This is what the prompt I want. This is how you want me to execute this. Now it tries to understand that. Yes, I see the prompt has to be given like this. Now, what I said is if I give 2 cross 6, it will give 12 actually like this. When we multiply 2 and C, you'll get 12 answer. Suppose if I give 5 cross 5, I just give the 5 cross 5 as this is. See the output now? See, the output is when we multiply this is what it gets. Earlier, it used to give something answer like this. But now I set the output format. I want the output format like this. You can this is like a mini training. You can tell ChatGPT, boss, you give me the answer in this format. It will give the answer like this, right? That is how it works. And even if you go beyond it, multiple channels, you can just something you can set it, and it will work in its own way actually. Here you see, solve the problem step by step. If you give this is a prompt. This is a prompt you have to set, right? And then you give it here. It works accordingly. It goes the step. It understands what is your intention, what output data you want to do it, all those things, and it understand and gives the answer. Okay, so this is how it gives answers one by one, right? This also gives like this. This is how it works. Now I'll say that. Okay, assume that you are a storyteller. Okay, that's a mistake typo. So when I asked ChatGPT, okay, I was, all right, let me slip into the role of a storyteller. He started writing a story actually, or you can give a story, and again story about Trump. Ask this actually, right? So you can build a story about him actually. Okay, something. I didn't ask for Donald Trump as a Trump. Now I just asked him, summarize, okay, with 3 bullets, right? That's what I asked. Right, to summarize that. So 3 bullets it says. So this is how ChatGPT works. Okay, so that is how it is. That's how the prompt you can give it. You can give it in a different format. So one demo you have seen that actually. I'll show one of the demo here. There's a rag actually. Whatever we have it actually. So for that, I need to go here actually. I'll check another one or 2 minutes. After that, I'll go over to Ankita. Ankita, I can just take over. So this is the one of the rag, a simple vanilla rag, whatever. Rag means, I mean. Augmented retrieval augmented generator or generator. This is what basically what is that when I give questions to ChatGPT, it may not knowing about me actually, who is Suresh, what is all those things, right? For that, I'll give augmented data. I'll give the document. With this document, he will give the answer to me actually. Let's run this, and I just give the document. Suresh is working in Intel, his holidays, all those things are given the document here. Then I run this here and ask the questions here, right? See this now. If I see this, it answer this. Suresh works at Intel, holidays, plans for fall in December. There's no further information about this. This is what it picks up from here. The same questions, if you ask ChatGPT, it doesn't give it. Right? If you go to ChatGPT and ask it, it doesn't give. It doesn't understand. You may say that, I don't, boss, I don't have anything. You give it whether it's understood. Or no, let's you chat and now go to upgrade now. You chat. Okay. And ask this. It is searching for the web. Where can you get it up? It finds someone actually. It's not me actually. Right? It's finds someone. It gives it. But that's not the answer I wanted. I want the answer from here. Listen this. For this, I have augmented data. This is a rack system. I will check from there and give you a proper answer to me actually. Suresh work on Intel. This is what the data I given actually. Again, if I say where does Suresh born? Because it does first he'll try to look at the records born in Delhi and India. Then where does Suresh stays now? Right? He's working. He now stays in Bangalore and is currently in Intel. Look at this. Who is Obama? He tries to get the answer from the ChatGPT on the internet. But for this, he tries to get from the data whatever I given it. This is called a RAG, and you can implement this RAG systems using the API keys. This is very simple. From a long chain, the long chain is again a platform. You can use this, and you can use this and then develop it. Actually, very simple. See, and this is all the code. I have around 20 lines of code, or maybe 15 to 20 lines of code. What I have it with that, I have generated a RAG system for a company, for everything. You can do it. So we have plenty of algorithms, plenty of data like this. We have implemented a lot of things actually on RAG and ChatGPT, variant of different ChatGPT, different machine learning models. All those we have done actually. So our training is completely focused on practical rather than theory. We do a lot of practicals. Any generative topics of machine learning, training, we give completely on a practical oriented training we give rather than a theory part. Okay, so this is all from my side. From my side, thank you all of you for listening. So far, I've taken more time. I think I've taken more 10 minutes more. Thank you all. And now I'll take the questions. If you have any questions, you can take the questions. So before that, Ankita, you want to say something? So I'll hand over to Ankita. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Suresh, for that incredibly insightful and engaging session. And to our attendees, it's been wonderful having you with us today, and we are grateful for your participation. We really appreciate the time you have taken out to learn with us. Now, if today's discussion got you curious and you'd like to explore generative AI or other tools in more depth, feel free to check out our virtual instructor-led training programs on springpeople.com. These are live interactive sessions with certified trainers that you can join right from home. If you do not find a batch that matches your schedule, we can arrange private group sessions or recommend flexible self-paced courses that you can take at your convenience. And now for more details, you can write to us at training@springpeople.com or call the number on your screen. Our team will be happy to guide you further. Now let us move into the Q&A segment. Over to you once again, Mr. Shures.
Yeah. Uh, so all the participants, if you have any questions, you can just post the questions. I don't see any question as of now.
I think there is no questions. I think everything
Yeah.
is pretty much clear to all the participants.
Mhm.
So thank you once again for your active participation. Now the recording of the today's session will be sent to your registered email address shortly. So please do keep an eye out for it. Now, before we close, we would love to hear your thoughts about today's session. So please take a moment to share your feedback with us. Your reviews will really help us improve and make our future sessions even more valuable for you. Until next time,
Thank
keep
you.
learning and we look forward to having you in another Spring People session. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead.